Sports pregame show.
Okay, basketball fans, with me, Kenny the Jet Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, I'm Ernie Johnson. You're watching 2K Sports, but you know that already. Tonight, it'll be the Golden State Warriors going up against the Milwaukee Bucks. Well, for the Bucks, this is their first time facing off this season. Last year, they split the season series at a game apiece. And tonight, two teams that love to get in transition. Shaq, talk about successfully running the break.
Well, I'm not a guard, but I have led the break before. And what you need to do, you got to keep your eyes ahead, have to see the whole floor. You got to be willing to make that extra pass, Ernie.
Wow, you talk like a guard. You were like a point guard up there.
Well, thank you.
Congratulations, man. But don't force things. That's the other part. You know, just make the easy play. And if it's not there, slow it down. Set up your half-court offense, and then get it into the big guy if you have one.
But don't you want to get the crowd on its feet? Don't you want to make that play that gets the whole arena up?
Yes. You know what they used to call me, Ernie?
What's that?
Shaq Johnson.
Wow. Because he was like Magic, but he was Shaq.
I get it, Kenny.
Oh,
I get it.
Sometimes you don't.
Not that dense. Shaq Johnson.
Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
The Bucks continue their journey as they play an interconference matchup on the road. We've got some terrific NBA action in store for you today. I'm Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. From the sideline, our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge. Today's game continues this Golden State Warriors homestand. They've already picked up 8 wins in their first 9 games. A lot of confidence with these guys right now.
Yeah, they've really hit the ground here running, and it's hard to imagine things coming together for them any better than they have. They have literally been dominant thus far early in the season.
And with tip-off coming up, we've got just enough time to hear from our good friend David Aldridge on the sideline. D.A., take it away.
Hey there, Kevin. Well, we all know that Steve Kerr, the Warriors coach, has a great way with his players. He said they see through all the BS. They've got to know that you're in charge and know what you're talking about. In the end, it's about them. Kevin?
You know what? That humble approach goes a long way, David. Thank you. And early in the season, many coaches, Clark, still experimenting with rotations, who plays when and where. And how long has it been in your experience to have that established on a team?
Well, it varies from team to team. There are a number of factors. One, the coach, has he been there a while? Does he have an established style of play and system? 2, what's your roster like? How healthy are you? What's the mix and makeup of your team? So it could vary, but typically you'd like to have it not prolong itself into the regular season. You hope that a few weeks of training camp, and then by the time you get a month of the season under your belt, that you're pretty anchored into who you are and how you're going to try to play.
Good outline. Here are the starters for Milwaukee. Giannis is down low with Lopez. Malcolm Brogdon out there at Bledsoe. And it's Middleton in at the 3. Now here's Thompson. And it's sent back by Bledsoe. Antetokounmpo passes to Bledsoe. Tipped away. Stolen by Durant. Pass to Green. The teardrop falls in.
And Durant just great at picking apart the defense. When they leave one of his guys open, he is quick to get the ball to them.
Now here's Bledsoe. A 17-point game for him in the win against Toronto.
And even while he was piling up all those points, he still found a way to create chances for his teammates. The assists just kept on coming.
5 to shoot. Puts it up from 15, and he sinks that one. Hits the back of the rim on the way in.
And, you know, you've got to honor Bledsoe's mid-range J. I mean, he's consistent at knocking it down from there.
Curry is inside. Guarded by Bledsoe, and it's out of bounds. They say last touch by Bledsoe. It's Sullivan to Kumbo. And Bledsoe has it in the corner. Back to Antetokounmpo. Ogden against Thompson. And Steph Curry with the foul. That is his first foul of the game. And the Bucks back in 2001, advancing to the conference finals in the subsequent 17 seasons, Clark. They've yet to win a playoff series. Is this the year?
Well, when you have a top 5 caliber player in Giannis Antetokounmpo, expectations rise, and you do have a better chance to advance in the playoffs. Earning a top seed, though, I think is important because that gives you home court advantage, which we know is helpful.
And that one's good. Green.
And setting the tone early with a strong move to the rack.
Yeah, I like the aggressiveness and the fearlessness there, Greg. I mean, very committed to getting the shot he wanted.
Now, here's Antetokounmpo. Bledsoe looking it over. Just 5 on the clock. Shoots over Curry. Shot's good by Bledsoe. Bledsoe's got his second bucket of the game to go.
Give Bledsoe all the credit there. I mean, excellent job just staying focused on the hoop, even when the defense was right there in his face.
Here's Durant. And he overshot that one, missing.
Boy, the defense had gone to sleep, so you got to knock that one down.
Middleton for 3. Iman Green with the rebound.
And extending the D there, putting a lot of pressure on the shooter.
You're exactly right. Controlling the perimeter well. Didn't allow the shooter to get off a clean look. That's what you would call A-plus defense.
And this is what Thompson is known for. A dead-eye perimeter shooter with impeccable form.
Outside, Antetokounmpo. He kicks to Middleton. And a great assist by Antetokounmpo as that one goes in.
And he'll take that. The nice, easy mid-range jumper. First bucket of the day.
The defense just gave him that one, and you talk about starting on a high note. Didn't seem to respect his mid-range J there.
And the basket is good. Got it to go through on the contact, so a free throw coming up. A great opportunity for a three-point play. And KD opting out of his deal, Greg, over the summer to re-sign with the Warriors.
And he did so to get a larger deal than he could have otherwise. Durant had already sacrificed money for the team before. Not a surprise to see him get closer to his value. It seems the super team will be intact for years to come.
That's good from Durant. You know, Greg, you hear that since Kevin Durant moved to the Bay Area, he's wasted no time making connections and investments in Silicon Valley.
It's interesting. He's reined in his endorsements by over half, but he's so inquisitive. I think meeting these tech luminaries and learning from them was part of the allure of the Golden State.
Milwaukee shooting their first free throws of this one.
And just to mention, a season ago, they were very comfortable at the line, hitting about 78% of their free throws.
A free throw drops for Eric Bledsoe.
Boy, you look at Mike Budenholzer, and he's moved into a nice situation this offseason. Atlanta in rebuild mode, and the Milwaukee Bucks heading in the other direction. One of the best teams in the East. That's a good landing spot for Budenholzer.
Andre Iguodala. He's checked in for Golden State. Bledsoe hits them both. And Budenholzer, well respected around the league, talk about what he brings now, Clark, to the Milwaukee Bucks, his new team.
Yeah, I think he brings a continuity offensively, ball movement and spacing, and a pretty good system defensively as well.
Here's Looney. Kicks it to Livingston. Shoots from 12. Rebound, Milwaukee. They're getting their first look of the season at the Warriors in this one. DiVincenzo. He's covered by Livingston. Bell against Bledsoe. Bledsoe. The pass to Snell. Looking for Henson. He gets it there. Over Cook. Henson's shot is off. So for Milwaukee, their last game, a win against the Raptors.
And once they established that flow offensively, really never got any resistance from the D.
And you know, Greg, they were sinking shots left and right, and that's got to be demoralizing for the defense. They were in a real zone.
And it's good, 2 points.
I mean, even he was surprised to be that open.
Now here's Bledsoe. He's got 6. And again, the Bucks miss. And that does it for the first quarter. The Warriors on top, up 4. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from Oracle Arena in Oakland, California. Steph Curry talks about the visual drills he does to help his playmaking as he's made the transition from a point guard at Davidson to a combo guard in the NBA.
It's a cognitive and neurological drill that helps you, one, takes your mind off the basketball, because when you're in a game, that should be the last thing you're thinking about. There's so many other variables out there that you have to kind of survey, where your defender is, where your teammates are, where you are in relation to the basket and your reaction. So those lights kind of train you in that regard. You have to, see what the color is, make a determination of what move that corresponds to, execute the move, and then finish the jumper.
The improvement he's made, Greg, in his ball handling has really unlocked his game.
I mean, able to keep his head up as he attacks off the dribble, read the defense, and drills like that can only help.
And hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. Halfway through the first half in this one. What do you guys think about the Warriors here so far?
Well, already in the first period, they found ways to get this offense ramped up.
Yeah, nice beginning so far. This is how you play out of the gate.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. So for the Golden State Warriors right now, they've got Livingston, Iguodala out there with Yarebko, and it's Looney in at the center, filling out the middle. Here is Cook, still looking for his first bucket in this one. And no good, his first shot of the night, missing.
John Henson, drafted out of North Carolina, only weighed 215 pounds as a rookie. He's still lean and slender, but has added enough muscle to hold his own inside.
Now here's Ilyasova. He had 19 points in the win against Toronto.
And he also controlled the backcourt as well. I mean, he really did a terrific job.
It's blocked. And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, Draymond Green is a former Defensive Player of the Year, and he remembers his motivation. They said I fell in the draft because what position would I guard? I'll never forget that. I'm comfortable guarding any position. When I'm playing against big guys, I battle even harder. You have to prove a point. I won't be a pushover. Kevin?
Yeah, he never backs down. Thanks, David. And at 6'11", some people had Henson listed as a power forward.
Well, in today's game, he's almost exclusively a center. His mobility helps. He's a shot blocker. He's comfortable scoring around the basket. The 5 spot is where he's most effective, I think.
And it's blocked. Now, here's Livingston, guarded closely. Pass to Cook. There's the 3. Unable to get that one. Bucks trail by 6. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Now here's Bledsoe. He's guarded closely. DiVincenzo. And it's out of bounds. The Bucks able to retain possession here. Let's use this break for a quick look at the squads that really made it happen on the fast break last season. The Warriors, number 1.
Do they love to run? I mean, nobody did it better. They would get out in the lanes and push the ball even after mates.
And Milwaukee calls their first time out of the game. Clark, give us a little insider's look. Which players do you look at as gamers? Guys who are always ready to put out extra effort and go the extra mile.
Man, there's so many guys that fall into that category, Kevin. It's almost unfair to try to pull some names out, but you look at the way they play, guys like Russell Westbrook, Draymond Green, LeBron James. I think Kevin Durant is much that way. He has great effort and energy to his craft. Steph Curry is a little different, but still provides it and plays with such an exuberance and joy. You know, Marcus Smart is a guy who I think does all the little intangible things that just have a way of making a positive impact on his team. So I don't have enough time to give you the full list, but those are a few of the guys that come up.
Great example. And the Warriors with a completely new 5 on the floor. Milwaukee. Lopez, he's checked in for John Henson. Giannis Antetokounmpo comes in for Ilyasova. Chris Middleton's checked in for Tony Snell. And Brogdon subbed in for Eric Bledsoe. Antetokounmpo against Green. DiVincenzo, deflected by Thompson. Outside Durant. That's in, coming off the assist from Thompson. And it's an 8-point Warrior lead.
Yeah, you look at the way Kevin Durant releases it so high, makes it hard to block, which is why he's such an efficient inside scorer.
Antetokounmpo dishes to Middleton. Yep, that one goes in there. Middleton's got his second bucket of the night.
And if you're the guy who has to guard him, it is never going to be an easy night for you.
Outside Curry. He dishes it to Durant. Sinks the triple. Durant's got 5 points in the quarter.
And that stroke of Durant, effort, I mean, easily pulling up from the perimeter, textbook form, beautiful to watch.
And you think about how the Warriors attracted Kevin Durant to the team and all these all-stars coexisting. It doesn't always work like that, does it?
No, and I give a lot of credit to Steph Curry, a two-time league MVP, but he never lets his ego get the best of him. His good-natured, calm, and sense of serenity kind of set the tone and maybe balance a bit of what Draymond brings to the locker room.
Chance there to push it to double digits, but it's off the mark.
And 2 for 1, that's what they'd like to get right now.
That would be ideal, and that's exactly what they'll try to do. They don't need to rush it, just need to get a quality shot, and quickly.
Passes it to Brogdon. Shot clock at 6. And Thompson sends it back. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Thompson. Jordan Bell's checked in for Golden State. Seconds left to play in the first half. And so it's Thompson with it. He'll bring it up for Golden State. They defeated the Pelicans in their last game.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, I thought the opponent's defense just never showed up.
Yeah, you know what? The waters were calm for most of the game. I mean, little resistance. Felt like they could get any look they wanted at any time.
And the last shot at the buzzer doesn't go in for him.
And this is why Green is a defensive player of the year candidate every year. Just his activity on that side of the ball.
And so it's Kevin Durant making headlines and highlights for the Golden State Warriors. He notched 8 points in the quarter and has that terrific basketball instinct on display. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Here with Coach Mike Budenholzer. Coach, probably not the defensive effort you were hoping for thus far.
Yeah, no, our defense isn't where it needs to be. I think they're getting open looks. We're over-shifting, and then we're not committing to shooters. Just not a very good defensive effort so far.
Mike, thanks very much for your time. Kevin, back to you.
Thank you, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of action following halftime.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, folks. Welcome back. This is Ernie Johnson, Kenny the Jet Smith, Shaquille O'Neal at 2K Sports. Let's talk first half. Golden State found themselves in a close game in the first. They did jump out to a lead in the opening period, but 4 points was the biggest it got. They took over in the second quarter, building their lead up to 10 points by the half and looking very much like a team that is determined to turn this game into a laugher. Hey, big fella, what's your take on Golden State so far?
You got to like their offense efficiency. They were patient, took good shots. That was reflected in their high field goal percentage. They just need to keep playing smart in the second half and close this thing out. Don't get cute now.
Kenny, what was your takeaway on Milwaukee?
I'd really like to see them attack the rim a little bit more. Change the game up, man. Generate some more easy baskets. Part of the reason they're behind is because they've been outclassed inside. They haven't been able to drive the ball, dish the ball. They need to pound it in the paint more if they want to win this basketball game.
Thanks for joining us, folks. We're now just a few minutes away from the start of the third quarter.
Through the first half, plenty of basketball though left in this one. What a game we're seeing from Kevin Durant.
Yeah, so far they haven't found an answer for him, a scoring machine here in that first half.
Yeah, and it's been fun to watch, partner, because not only is he shooting a high percentage, a good percentage, he's also carrying the team.
Bucks trail by 10, and Milwaukee, looking at who they've got, Middleton and Giannis are your small and power forwards. Bledsoe is out there with Brogdon, and it's Lopez in at the center. Now, here's Antetokounmpo, still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring hit from him. Bledsoe misses the wing chip. Warriors leading by 10. Durant finds Curry. Lets it go with the three. And another three for Golden State.
The defense a step slow. You can see the result.
Greg, that's 3 in a row from out there now, so they've got to do a better job contesting.
Brogdon with it. Picked up by Thompson. Brogdon the pass to Middleton. Green against Antetokounmpo. And the slam dunk by Antetokounmpo.
I absolutely love how Antetokounmpo just has a winning mindset. Consistent. This guy is looking to go all the way to the basket. Has to be devastating trying to stop this guy if you're on defense.
And so here is Golden State after the basket by Milwaukee. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Curry's shot is good. Curry's got the lead up to 13 now for the Warriors.
And Curry certainly is clever and crafty. Trickery is part of his arsenal when he gets inside. I mean, I like seeing him do his thing close to the basket.
Timeout called the Bucks. Mark, when you played some tremendous talent at the forward position, as you go back in your Rolodex, who was the toughest matchup for you?
Well, I look at some of the names of guys that I played against. Mark Aguirre, Larry Bird, obviously Kevin McHale in Boston. Calvin Nat was terrific with Portland at the time. Marcus Johnson in Milwaukee. Bernard King in New York probably was the toughest guy I had to deal with because he was such an animal and beast as a scorer and was relentless in his movement without the ball. He was probably the hardest guy I had to check.
Some great names there.
Yeah, big-time scores at that forward position.
Looney's checked in for the Warriors. Livingston comes in for Thompson. The Bucks also changing it up. Ilyasova comes in for Brook Lopez. And Tony Snell subbed in for Chris Middleton.
How about Brogdon with the floating jumper? You know when he's pulling that one out, he's feeling really good.
Here's Durant. No good that time. So Milwaukee will take it the other way. Here's Snell, defended by Durant. Snell kicks to Antetokounmpo. Gets it to fall. That makes it just a single-digit lead. Antetokounmpo's got 4 this quarter. Curry against Bledsoe. Curry with 5 points in the game. It's all about Antetokounmpo. Fast break. Milwaukee. Antetokounmpo running. Took him no time at all on that one. Antetokounmpo's got his third bucket of the night.
And Antetokounmpo, his jump shot continues to look better and better. When he's pulling up like that, the defense is cooked.
Down low. Here's Jones. And then Jones with the jam.
Taking it to the rack with power.
Hammering down the two-hand slam.
Really piling on the lead with a dunk like that.
No good from Bledsoe.
He's been off so far, Kevin, but there's still time. I mean, he just needs to settle it down, idle it down a little bit, and try to contribute as much as he can on the offense within himself.
Livingston gets to Durant. And so it looks like the Warriors will retain possession here. And the Warriors with some changes. Jordan Bell's checked in for Jones. Iguodala comes in for Sean Livingston. And Cook subbed in for Curry. Third quarter action, and just under 3.5 minutes have gone. Milwaukee with the rebound. Now Brogdon. Pass to Ilyasova. To the left side wing. DiVincenzo. Sweet little floater.
That makes it 10 of their last 12 coming from inside the paint.
Durant against Antetokounmpo. Leads away. And Henson pulls it down.
And that's the shot you want to create. They just can't get it to fall.
That's what I call an everything but. Good execution, just didn't knock it down. But you're right, they're happy with that shot.
And not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close.
And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Antetokounmpo.
You love the effort. Just getting the hand in there and knocking it out.
Really came close to the pilfer. But they'll take that effort. Mucking things up is sometimes just as good as a steal.
Looking at who's out there now for the Warriors. Green, he's checked in for Looney. And it's Klay Thompson in for Andre Iguodala.
And, you know, Kevin, that's what they want. An uncontested look from the perimeter. Sadly, they came up short on that possession.
At the top of the key, Durant. That's good. He's 5 for 9.
Well, assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Really a prime example of the difference in how these teams have operated offensively. Much more individual play at the other end.
Now, here's Brogdon. Just 5 on the clock. It's Antetokounmpo on the wing. Off target with his 3. It's deflected.
Well, the defensive chops of Ilyasova really coming into play here. I mean, quite surprising, actually impressive at how good he is at timing those shot blocks.
And so it's the Golden State Warriors bringing the quarter to a close with a 7-point lead. They're feeling very confident, shooting the ball with great efficiency and dictating the pace. And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way after this break. And now let's go back to a play from earlier as we show you our State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter for him.
Served him up a tasty room service dime right there, boy.
And with 3 quarters behind us, let's see what this 4th period holds in store for us. Warriors leading by 7. Curry and Thompson are the 1 and the 2. The talented forward pair of Durant and Green at the 3 and the 4. And it's Jones in at the 5, roaming the paint. That's the Warriors' 5. Now here's Thompson. Lets it go from 11, off the left rim and out. Bucks trail by 7. To the middle, DiVincenzo. And it's Durant with the rebound.
You know, that's an easy one. You can't miss these shots. Those are makeable shots, especially when the defense isn't on its game.
Here's Thompson. Good on the baseline jam. Thompson's got the kicks to Middleton. Lopez outside. And we've played through about a minute here in the fourth. Eric Bledsoe's checked in for the Bucks. Kicks to Bledsoe. Knocked away. Ogden the pass to Bledsoe. And he comes up with the deuce.
This is a positive sign for sure. I mean, when Bledsoe's hitting this, I think it ignites the entire squad.
Murray finds Thompson. It's over Brogdon. Not going to go that time. The Bucks go the other way with it. Middleton left side. Outside, Antetokounmpo. Ogden against Thompson. And Jones sends it down. Outside Curry. Lobbed up there for Durant. An emphatic alley-oop jam.
And Curry is so impressive. His peripheral vision is what makes him unique, in addition to his ball handling skill. He does a nice job setting up his teammates and knows how to get them the ball when they're open.
Now here's Middleton. Bledsoe kicks to Antetokounmpo. Back to Bledsoe. Just 5 to shoot. Shoots from the elbow. He doesn't hit that one. So Golden State will take it the other way. Antetokounmpo against Green. And he banks in the layup. And the Warriors lead by 11.
And some guys just have a nose for scoring. And this one couldn't have been any easier.
Yeah, that was actually no defense at all there, Greg. I mean, layups don't come any easier than that. I mean, they're piling it on now.
Now a timeout called by Milwaukee. May have been the 90s, Clark, when we saw the pick and roll really become a common type play. Defenses have now adjusted somewhat, but many offenses still rely on it now.
Man, you go way back to the 50s and 60s. The pick and roll has been one of the hardest plays to defend since really basketball came into existence, quite honestly. Puts a lot of pressure on the defense. And now, with the interchangeable parts that many teams have, you have the real challenge of small guys setting screens on big guys and creating havoc. So screen and roll action, always a very important part of the game and a hard set to cover well on defense.
Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Thanks, Kevin. Mike Budenholzer had some words for his team during the break. He told them not to hold back. He said, I want 100% effort out there. If you can't give it, I'll get you out. No time to rest. Let's get after it. Kevin, he needs everything they've got.
Here's Curry after Eric Bledsoe's score. Timeout called the Warriors.
And really, whether you're up or down, it's a game of adjustments.
Always. And having a good coach is critically important. I mean, you need somebody you can count on to make the right adjustment.
Quarter keeps moving right along. 3 minutes gone so far. Curry kicks to Green. Curry passes to Jones. Shot clock at 5. Shot from 12. No good off the front iron.
You must make that. Even with the defense present, these are shots you have to finish.
Durant finds Curry. Against Middleton from the baseline. Durant, that's good. And the Warriors lead by 11. And now we'll get perspective here on how the hustle game has been going for the Warriors.
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ballgame.
And also, I've been extremely impressed with their interior D. Their rim protection has been as good as it gets.
Makes the bucket, gets the whistle, and now a three-point play chance here for him.
And that tells the tale here today, guys. Throughout this game, they've been able to get the ball in tight and finish. Klay Thompson, such a perfect fit on the Warriors. A versatile defender, can score playing off the ball, and just plays the game the right way.
And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2. And the foul called on the Golden State Warriors.
And though he's still young, Giannis Antetokounmpo is already elite. I mean, his athleticism and length, really hard to contain.
That's good from Antetokounmpo. And is there any doubt Klay Thompson could go to another team and average 30 points a game as the main offensive weapon?
Yeah, but, he's not an attention seeker, and that's just not his personality. He knows it's more fun to play for a win.
All free throws good from Antetokounmpo. 1:11 left in the fourth quarter. And it's Thompson with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Golden State Warriors. Giving up just 8 points in the fourth quarter to the inside. Stolen by Middleton. And it's Antetokounmpo penetrating. And the rebound paying off as they pick up 2 on the second chance bucket right there.
Really, you know what? Trying to keep Antetokounmpo off the glass, that's a tough assignment because he's long and he can lead.
Now here's Curry, and Green gets it to go.
And leaving nothing to chance here on this game-punching run.
Exactly. Cold-blooded. Separation solidified. Great effort.
Here's Antetokounmpo. Lopez inside, working on Jones. Lopez, you know what?
Boy, the defense did an awesome job there, Kevin. Big-time work. Really distracting him, throwing off the shot. That's how you do it on D.
And with the time remaining, I'm just not seeing it.
Yeah, it would take a miracle for them to come back, in my mind. Like Tracy McGrady against the Spurs type of heroics. A lot of points in a little bit of time.
And here is Curry. So we see the Warriors taking the game here. Even early on in this one, it seemed like they were happy to be playing at home tonight.
And it makes a big difference. Once they started to really play in rhythm, you never felt like they had any doubts as to whether or not they were going to win.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Kevin, thanks a lot. Steph, what was the key that had your offense going so well tonight?
Obviously, guys have to make shots, and when we're creating and moving our bodies and the ball's moving, we're not turning it over. We're tough to guard, and not everybody had confidence tonight to go out there and make plays. So that's contagious, and we got to find that tomorrow, next game if we want to keep this going.
Obviously, the way you guys want to play, Steph. Thank you. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.